Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of our Road to the GOAT series. Right now, we're 48-4. We have 3 games left to try and win in the NBA League. So, these Tier 1 matchups shouldn't be too hard for me because I'm going to pick the best team available as well as my opponent, and that's why they're Tier 1 team. But in this matchup, oddly enough, we get matched with the Houston Rockets. I'm the 2016 Cleveland Cavaliers, and my opponent is the Houston Rockets. So, off the bat, it's not looking too good for my opponent. But when I was searching for a game, the game took quite some time to find a match, and it matched me up with this guy. So, I'm going to automatically assume that if he picked the Rockets and it took this long for me to find a match, and it's putting him against a tier 1 team, he has to be pretty good, because I don't think 2K, based on like the record, is going to put someone else who is not that good against me with this team. So this would be a good matchup, but we'll just have to see how this game plays out. So LeBron James hits a wide open 3, and that's a good start for LeBron James. Usually you have to get to the rim with this guy to get him shooting, but wide open 3, he's going to knock that down, and that's good to see. We're on a fast break again. That is his second foul. And one thing that he liked to do, because he knew he was at such a huge disadvantage, was that he kept fouling me anytime I got on a fast break. I don't know if you've seen on that very first possession or the very first couple of possessions when I got on the fast break, he fouled me, and I thought the first one should have been a clear path foul, but it wasn't. But yeah, that's a strategy that I use sometimes too, just to try and slow things down on the defensive end. But this guy, he was really using it to the max. Like anytime I got on a fast break opportunity, he would try his best to foul me, or if he had a good matchup on the defensive end, he wasn't going to foul, and he would just let the defense play itself out and live with the outcome. So there's nothing really much my opponent can do but just to play his game and try and play the best offense and defense that he can. And immediately in this game, he came out into a zone, but it's really not that much of a worry for us because we have shooters, we have guys who can get to the rim. So playing a zone with the Houston Rockets, especially when I have the Cleveland Cavaliers, it's not too much of a worry for me. Like with some other teams, I'm a little bit worried, but not that much. But we know how to work the ball around depending or regardless of the team that we choose. So my opponent, he's actually playing pretty well. He's only down by 3 points, and it's looking pretty good for him so far. He's playing defense, he's playing offense. So the zone right now, it's working for him, and I'm just trying to work the ball around. J.R. Smith looking for a guy. I'm taking my time trying to kick it out to Kevin Love. Now we have a mismatch. I'm trying to back my way down to the paint. I pick up my dribble, get fouled, and we get 14 seconds back on the shot clock. So again, I always say this in every video. When you're going up against the zone, you just want to be patient. Good layup here by LeBron James. He misses it. And I think because I had such a higher overall team that I could get away with anything. And so that layup attempt, it looked good. But looking at it now, probably wasn't the best shot to take in that situation. But nonetheless, we play good defense. The score is still 6-9. LeBron James on the break again and again. You see, he fouls me while we are on the fast break just to try and slow things down, because I definitely was trying to go straight to the rim with LeBron James. But either way, foul or no foul, we still get 2 points on that possession because Tristan Thompson, he is also pretty good. And to talk about this Cleveland roster team from 2016, they got a pretty good roster. They got shooters, they got guys who get to the rim, as I mentioned earlier, and they have guys coming off the bench who could also put in work. LeBron James, freight train. He gets fouled, and I didn't shoot too well at the free throw line with this team. That is one area of concern for me if I play with this team again or not. I really can't shoot free throws with them, and LeBron James wasn't really a good free throw shooter back then. But Kyrie Irving is, but LeBron James was the main one getting to the rim. So my opponent is still in that zone. We're trying to work the ball around. We're running plays. Can't really find nothing. I try to get it to J.R. Smith in the corner of the court. He misses that shot, and good defense by my opponent. So he is not down by that much. Only 2 points. Scores 9-11. John Wall to the rim, trying to find Christian Woods. He has it down low. Good defense by Tristan Thompson. And that's a benefit of playing with the classic or one of the historic teams. And you see my opponent, he fouls me once more on the fast break. Is that some of the guys who weren't highly rated at that time on this historic team, now that you're playing with those teams, they're a little bit overrated, and it kind of helps out, especially when you're going up against highly rated teams as well. So 10-13, freight train coming down the other end of the court, wide open J.R. Smith in the corner of the court. Gonna hit that three 90% of the time. So that's a good shot. We're shooting and we're getting to the rim, and I always stress this in the video, whenever someone plays a zone, you want to make sure that you're able to shoot the ball decently, especially from the corners, because from the corner three-pointer, that's going to be the easiest shot to make. J.R. Smith again, corner three ball. I'm telling you, you get a guy wide open in the corner of the court for a three-pointer, you have to make sure you hit those shots when you're in the zone. Good crossover by DJ Augustine, I believe, and he can't get that one to go. And LeBron James, we're gonna slow the tempo down just a little bit, see what defense he is in. It might look like he's still in that zone, but we are going to hold for the last shot. LeBron James to the rim. I ooped it up to Tristan Thompson, but I'm saying 2K16 with that team, Tristan Thompson is not making that. But in this year 2K, especially since they are a historical or classic team, he's gonna hit that. And look at that shot my opponent hits there. So that gives him a bit of momentum coming out of the first quarter, even though he is still down. So we're bringing in the bench guys and the reserves towards the end of the first, and they are still playing in the beginning of the second quarter. So my opponent's shooting 50%, so he's definitely still in this game. It's nothing he's doing to take himself out the game, but when I was playing the game, he was it seemed like he was a little bit down, or he was a little bit frustrated that he was going up against the Cleveland Cavaliers, and I don't blame him. Like, this is a ridiculous matchup for someone to go up against, especially considering I have one of the best teams in the game, and he has the Houston Rockets, and I believe at this time they may have been a tier 2 or tier 3 team. I know they are definitely not tier 1, so it's like a automatic lose situation for him. But I'm saying that he's doing pretty good. Scores 17-22, so it's really on me. I'm not doing a good job of beating his zone, and we just have to do a better job of creating easier shots. Good pass by LeBron to Tristan Thompson down low, and we're going to extend our lead by 7 points. And another bad thing for my opponent is that because he is at such huge disadvantage, is that he has to leave his starters in for the majority of the game. It's not like a same tier matchup where he could take guys out, give the starters a breather, and then put them back in. You can't really do this against this Cleveland Cavaliers team because things could get out of hand pretty quickly. Although we're only up by 7 points, he wants to make sure that lead does not expand to 10 because things can go bad pretty quickly, as I said earlier. So we're in our man-to-man defense. He throws a oop, a bit of miscommunication there, and I'm pretty sure he's trying to foul me, but he doesn't get the foul, and we are going to slow the tempo down and get into our offensive set. This Cleveland Cavaliers team, they're not too bad to play with, and maybe my judgment might be skewed a little bit because we had this matchup, such an easy matchup to go up against. But for what it's worth, J.R. Smith, he was a huge contributor because I really needed to shoot the 3 ball, and LeBron James, Kyrie Irving, they did their thing. But the only person you need on this team like that to win is really LeBron James, because he gets to the rim so easily and it creates shots for other guys. I didn't really use Kyrie that much, but if LeBron James was to go out, Kyrie would just pick up the slack on the offensive end. Good block, good defense, and we're on the break again. Good steal. He almost had the steal there, but we are able to regain possession. LeBron James, Euro step to the rim, getting it to go over Christian Woods, and now the lead is up to 9 points. And another thing that I did is that I put LeBron James on John Wall because I knew how good of a driver John Wall was. And look at the on-ball defense that we are playing. My on-ball defense might not be the best, but with LeBron James and his 99 overall defense, it's going to show. It's going to help guys who don't even know how to play on-ball defense play defense. So Good defense on that possession here. We get it to Iman Shumpert, and he is going to dunk it for 2 points. So my opponent, you can tell he's a little bit frustrated because he did that little quick pause thing to show people that you're kind of mad. And he picks up a charge call, and he's basically up out of here. So that was a very easy victory for us, and we could move on to the next matchup. I don't blame my opponent for quitting. I mean, this was a pretty bad matchup he had, but nonetheless, we still pick up the victory and we improve our record to 49-4. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.